Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer. Chapter 2, Part 3. When I lived with the Volturi, I met two immortal children, so I know firsthand the appeal they had. I studied the little ones for many years after the catastrophe they'd caused was over. You know his inquisitive disposition. He was hopeful that they could be tamed, but in the end the decision was unanimous. The immortal children could not be allowed to exist. I'd all but forgotten the Denali's sister's mother when the story returned to her. It is unclear precisely what's happened with Tanya's mother, Carla had said. Tanya, Kate and Irina were entirely oblivious until the day the Volturi came for them, their mother and her illegal creation already their prisoners. It was ignorance that saved Tanya's and her sister's lives. Ira touched them and saw their total innocence, so were not punished with their mother. None of them had ever seen the boy before, or dreamed of his existence, until the day they watched him burn in their mother's arms. I can only guess that their mother had kept her secret to protect them from this exact outcome. But why had she created him in the first place? Who was he, and what had he meant to her that would cause her to cross the most uncrossable of lines? Tanya and the others never received an answer to any of these questions, but they could not doubt their mother's guilt, and I don't think I've ever truly forgiven her. Even with Ara's perfect assurance that Tanya, Kate and Irina were innocent, Caius wanted them to burn. Guilty by association, they were lucky that Ara felt like being merciful that day. Tanya and her sisters were pardoned, but left with unhealing hearts and very healthy respect for the law. I'm not sure exactly when the memory turned into a dream. One moment it seemed like I was listening to Carla in my memory, looking at his face, and then a moment later I was looking at a grey barren field, smelling the thick scent of burning incense in the air. I was not alone there. The huddle of figures in the centre of the field, all shrouded by ashy cloaks, should have terrified me. There could only be Volturi, and I was, against what they'd decreed at our last meeting, still human. But I knew, as I sometimes did in dreams, that I was invisible to them. Scattered all around me were smoking heaps. I recognised the sweetness in the air and did not examine the mounds too closely. I had no desire to see the faces of the vampires they'd executed, half afraid that I might recognise someone in the smouldering pyres. The Volturi soldiers stood in a circle around something or someone, and I heard their wispy voices raised in agitation. I edged closer to the cloaks, compelled by the dream to see whatever thing or person they were examining with such intensity. Creeping carefully between two of the tall hissing shrouds, I carefully saw the object of their debate, raised up on a little hillock above them. He was beautiful, adorable, just as Carla had described. The boy was a toddler still, maybe 2 years of age. Light brown curls framed his cherubic face with its round cheeks and full lips, and he was trembling, his eyes closed as if he was too frightened to watch death coming closer every second. I was struck with the powerful need to save the lovely terrified child that the Volturi, despite all the devastating menace, no longer mattered to me. I shoved past them, not caring if they realised my presence. Breaking free of them altogether, I sprinted towards the boy, only to stagger to a halt as I got a clear view of the hillock he sat upon. It was not earth and rock, but a pile of human bodies, drained and lifeless. Too late not to see these faces, I knew them all. Angela, Ben, Jessica, Mike, and directly between the adorable boy were the bodies of my mother and my father. The child opened his bright, blood-red eyes.